A hush fell over the crowd as the shuttle, a bright fire against the canvas of the sky, began its ascent. The air was electric with a primal shared excitement. In the stands, Henry gripped his father's hand, his small thumb hovering over the button on his stopwatch. His father, a mechanic with calloused hands and a deep understanding of the machinery that made dreams fly, grinned down at his son. He had worked extra shifts for the tickets, a silent gift of shared wonder. Up in the heavens, the astronaut, a young mother who had won a contest against 20 other women, smiled. She had defied odds and expectations, a symbol of progress and hope. Before the launch, her husband had hugged her tightly, urging her to remember her goal of inspiring women everywhere. In the quiet of their final moments, she'd whispered to him a fleeting worry she'd overheard, a rumor about a fuel line. He'd simply hugged her tighter, telling her not to worry. In the launch room, Bernie Ayers watched the screens. He was the mission operations director, a man who lived and breathed numbers and checklists. He felt the familiar adrenaline of a successful launch, the kind of professional satisfaction that came from seeing everything go exactly as planned. 73 seconds in, the world held its breath. Then, a sudden blinding flash. A violent white fire erupted from the side of the shuttle. A great silent exhalation rippled through the crowd. Henry stared, his thumb still hovering over the button. The smoke in the sky bloomed into a terrible silent flower of destruction. The once jovial crowd was silent. The pieces of debris had yet to make their descent.
Henry gripped his father's calloused hands. "Dad, what happened?"
Well, God, why didn't I push harder? Why did I believe them? Now, a cold dread settled deep in my gut, a sickening certainty that something had not been right. You see, the fuel lines, Henry, they're made of a synthetic material. Too fragile for that kind of pressure. I told them, those bastards, with the wrong mix of fuel, the lines can melt or wear thin too quick. I gave them my report, Jay, and they said they fixed it. Don't worry, son. They said, we upped the glue mixture. Glue. They thought glue would fix this. So when the second thrust to separate the capsule from the rocket, it exploded. It exploded.
Henry, his world suddenly dark except for his father's droning voice, clung to every word, grounded by the sound. His gaze drifted to his wrist. He looked at his stopwatch, his small thumb finally pressing the button. It had flown for exactly 73 seconds. He memorized it all. The distant wail of sirens began to cut through the crowd's stunned silence. But for Henry, there was only his father's voice, explaining the precise, agonizing mechanics of how a dream had turned to dust.